Hey guys, welcome back to Backwoods Biker Channel. Appreciate you tuning in. We're getting ready to look at a couple really fine knives made by Montana Americana. Hold tight. All right, so as I told you, I'm going to take a look at a couple knives that were submitted to us by Dean Hazuka from Americana, Montana, or Montana Americana. That's what it is. And when I first received the knives, I looked at them. I thought, these look really nice. And we did a bench review on them, and they went through all the bench tests with flying colors. They're a couple really good knives, but until you get out in the bush and you start working with those knives, you really don't know what they're going to do. A lot of knives that I've had have done well on the bench test, and then when we got them out into the field, they were like, oh, as a matter of fact, we chose 6 knives to be candidates for Knife of the Year. And out of those 6, I would say probably at least 2 have been booted out. Just because of the simple fact they didn't perform as well as what we anticipated when we first nominated them. And the particular knives I'm going to show you, they weren't nominated because we just didn't have enough room. We were only doing 6. But now, these knives from Dean Hazuka are in the running to be Knife of the Year. Now, he submitted 2 of them. One of them is this survival knife that I just pulled off of my side. They're beautiful knives, very pretty, and they're very functional. And then, of course, this small neck knife, which is a patch knife. They're both great knives. So now this is what I'm going to do. I'm not really a statistic guy. That's Rocky's thing. But I'm going to sit these down for just a second before I start talking to you about how they perform, because Dean did take the time to send me this to talk about his knives, and I'm just going to read it to you right off of here. It says survival stats. This is a heavy bladed full tang knife designed for rough use in wilderness situations. Survival knife. The blade is a 5-inch zone tempered clip point with 1/4-inch spine from 1075 high carbon spring steel. It has a flat grind taper from spine to edge with a slight convex grind on the final bevel. My target is a Rockwell 57 on the edge with a spring temper of 54 on the spine for added toughness. Now all of that stuff, that's what you get from a boutique knife maker, all right? The handle is a tapered bird beak style with maple, sculpted scales, pinned and epoxied with exposed finial and a lanyard. The sheath is a deep pocket 6 to 7 ounce vegetable tan cowhide with a generous 3-inch belt loop. It's rich dark brown, oil dyed and saturated with pure neatsfoot oil and finished with acrylic cedar. Price on that knife with the sheath is $225. He also has a lighter weight version with an 1/8-inch blade at $175, which I don't think that I would go cheap like that. I'd go ahead and buy the one for $225. The neck knife is 6 1/4-inch overall with a 2.5-inch blade and 3 3/4-inch handle. The blade is 1/16 inch 1095, also tempered by color to Rockwell 57 full tang with maple scales, brass pins, and rides in a deep pouch style sheath. It hangs comfortably from your neck on a leather thong or in a belt sheath on your side. As you can see, I carry it on my neck. Fine etch patina on the blades. He gives us phone number, and that's going to be in the video here. You'll be able to see that riding through here. I'll give you all the dope on how to get in touch with Dean. And best of all, these come with a lifetime repair or replacement. That's pretty good stuff right there. Now, let's talk about the real important stuff. How do these perform out in the field? As I said, as far as survival knives are concerned, probably one of the most devastating misinformation films ever made was Rambo. Whenever old Rambo came out with that great big old gnarly knife, from them on, everybody and their brothers running out to get the biggest knife, nastiest knife they can. But I tell you what, if you look back in history to men like Horace Kephart and Nessmuk, who is George Washington Sears, you know, their knives were not big hog legs like that. They weren't short machetes. They were more on the style of this knife right here, shaped a little bit different. But what Dean does is he makes hybrid period knives. He'll take a little bit of technology from the day, add it with technology from the old, some of the old designs, and this is what you get. One of the finest knives that I've ever had in my hand for this size and for utility work anywhere in the bush. I don't care if you are doing small chopping tasks. This isn't an axe, nor is it a tomahawk, okay? It's a knife. It will do feather sticks well. I mean, it does all the bushcrafting. It's great for that. It's great for skinning. It's great for processing animals out in the field. It's good for that. The way he puts these together, I mean, when you look at it, it doesn't say I'm super fancy, but it is super sexy. I'll tell you that. I like the jimping that's in here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spots for the jimping. He has softened them up. They're alternating, and they are perfect for grabbing your thumb without biting your thumb. It's got a nice pommel on the back here. It's got a hook beak pommel where you can crush things with this. The lanyard is in the right spot. You know, there's nothing not to like about this particular knife. Now, how does it perform? Well, I'll tell you what. I'm just going to show you here. If I'm making, you know, tent steaks, see how this does? If I got to make a tent steak, this is a knife that can make it very, very quickly, very easy. Now, when they came from Dean, they came very, very sharp. I use the snot out of these, and then I just use a work sharp field sharpener, okay? If I've got to make notches, you know, or say I'm going to make the top end of a tent steak, then all I got to do is put that dude down in there, and I'm in like Flint. Look at that, right there. See that? 2 swipes, and I got a tent steak, you know. This isn't the greatest piece of wood for trying to feather stick, but as you can see, it'll do the job very, very well. That'll burn in the fire. Is this a knife that I'd take out in the bush with me? You better believe it. This has become one of my favorite knives this year, if not my favorite knife, because it does everything that I need for it to do. I've been able to count on it. It's a 1075. You heard the specs on that. I mean, it's just crazy what he does with his knives. Super sharp, easy to sharpen out in the field. Kept an edge for, you know, a long time. I don't have to sharpen a lot, but when I do, it's very, very easy. So, now, with that being said, I'll tell you how sharp it is. You see what I'm doing right here? This morning, I went to put this knife in the sheath and wasn't paying attention to what I was doing, and I sliced my pants. I missed the sheath, hit my pants, boom, sliced it. So now, let's talk about this little patch knife. What do I use this for? I use this for all kinds of things, from cutting cordage to processing food, doing fine tasks. You know, it's a great knife for that also. If you're working with small tanned leather, you know, and you don't want to cut it up, or if you're trying to be very, very careful as to how you are taking the hide off of some game, you know, if you're wanting to save that hide, this knife is a great knife for that. He's got the same type of little jimping up there on the end of this spine right here. There's no pommel to speak of, but you wouldn't use a pommel with a knife like this. And you don't need a lanyard since it's stuck off in this sheath. Now, Dean also sent me a dangler, you know, but I'll never use that because I've got this dangling on my side. But I do like to have a small knife with me, you know, all the time. And this is a perfect size. So who would be a candidate for this? Would I recommend this to bikers going out in the bush? You better believe it. This is a great knife. Is it a tactical knife? It's not made to be tactical, but it could be tactical. But I mean, for fishermen, for preppers, for survivalists, for homesteaders, for backpackers that want a dependable knife that they can take out with them. You know, again, it's not a huge knife, and it doesn't weigh very much at all. I don't have the scale here, but it is lightweight knife for what it is. You know, so kudos to you, Mr. Dean Hazuka. What a great knife that you make there. I'm looking forward to seeing some more of your stuff in the future. Go out there and check out his website at Americana, MontanaAmericana.com, and I'll put that up in there, you know, for all the mistakes I may have made. But get out there, check out that phone number, call him, and this is a lifetime knife. You buy something from him, it's a lifetime knife. You take care of it, it'll take care of you. Thank you for watching the video. Now listen, if you like our videos, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button down there on the right and share the video. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter and on Instagram. And when you do, we enter you into our monthly giveaway, and we give away knives, we give away survival fire kits, we give away a lot of different things. And we'd love to give you something, but make sure in your settings we can see who you are, because if we can't, doesn't matter what you win, you'll never get it. So till next time, you ride free, you live free, and as always, when you're handling knives or anything out in the bush, be safe. We'll see you next time.